Welcome! Today we're going to build a toolkit, a really practical one for understanding two of our most powerful and often confusing emotions. We're going to learn how to finally tell the difference between a real signal of danger and just, the distracting noise of anxiety. So let's just jump right in with the big question, right? How do you know, how do you tell when that knot in your stomach is a life-saving warning sign versus when it's just a false alarm that's keeping you stuck? It's a really crucial question. Okay, so picture this. You're walking to your car, it's late, the parking garage is quiet. A stranger comes up and offers to help you with your groceries, but something just feels off. Your heart starts pounding. Now, is that your intuition screaming, danger, or is it just your anxiety spinning another one of its what-if stories? Let's figure it out. So that feeling in the parking garage, it's not random. It actually comes from a deep, ancient part of our brain. It's a survival mechanism. But here's the catch. It was built for a completely different world than the one we live in today. And this is where we get to the heart of the problem. It's this total mismatch, right? Our brain is basically running on, let's call it caveman software, but we're living in a smartphone world. Back then, the threat was a saber-toothed tiger. The response? Simple. Fight or run. But a vague email from your boss? Our brain just doesn't have a program for that, so it kind of defaults to worry. And this little glitch in our programming, it leads to two huge mistakes. We either completely miss the real dangers, the modern-day saber-toothed tigers, or we get totally paralyzed by alarms that turn out to be false. But what if there was a way to tell the difference? Well, that's what we're here to do. We're going to build that toolkit, a simple two-part system to help you figure out when to listen to that feeling and when to just pivot. Okay, tool number one. Let's call it the fear signal. And this one is all about learning when to trust that gut feeling, that intuition that's screaming at you about a real, actual threat out there. Now, this is a really important idea. Real, true fear, it's not supposed to paralyze you. It's designed to move you. It's your body's way of shouting, hey, action is needed right now. It's a gift that helps us survive. So, how does that signal even get to us? Well, it's through intuition. And listen, intuition isn't some kind of magic. Gavin de Becker puts it perfectly. It's like this immediate jump in understanding. It's knowing something without knowing how you know it. Yeah, think of it like this. Your intuition is your brain's built-in background scanner. It's always running, picking up on these tiny, subtle signals, body language, the tone of someone's voice, things that don't quite add up. And it alerts you when something's wrong, even if you can't put your finger on exactly what it is. Okay, let's make this really practical. Check out this rule of opposites. This gives your intuition some data to work with. We all kind of have a built-in sense of what normal, safe behavior looks like, right? Well, when someone's actions are the complete opposite of that, they're trying way too hard, they're getting in your space, they're asking weirdly personal questions, that's a huge red flag that your intuition is absolutely right to be picking up on. All right, so we've got our fear signal. Now for tool number two. The anxiety compass. This one's for dealing with all that internal noise. The stories we tell ourselves. So inside our heads, we've all got this voice. Dr. Stephen Hayes has a great name for it, the dictator within. And its whole job, it thinks, is to problem solve our feelings away. It sees anxiety as a problem and screams, get rid of it, fix it, make it stop. But here's the crazy part. The anxiety itself, that's not really the problem. The real problem, the thing that makes us suffer, is the endless, exhausting fight against that feeling. That struggle is what drains our energy and makes our world feel small. So what do? We don't fight. We pivot. It's a three-step move. First, you just acknowledge the feeling. Like, yep, anxiety, you're here. No fight. Second, you diffuse the thought. You see it for what it is, just a story, some words in your head, not an order. And finally, you choose to take a small step toward what you value, even while that feeling is still hanging around. And a valued action doesn't have to be some huge, life-changing thing. It's about your why. For example, maybe you go for a run, not to get rid of anxiety, but because you value feeling strong and alive in your body. See the difference? That's the pivot. Okay, so now we have two tools in our toolkit, the fear signal and the anxiety compass. So, how in the world do you know which one to grab? Well, it all boils down to one simple question. And this right here, this is the core of the whole toolkit. You have to ask yourself, Am I dealing with a signal, or am I caught up in a story? A signal is about what's happening right now. It gives you energy. Its whole point is to protect you. But anxiety, that's a story. It's all about what ifs. It's draining, and it's not trying to protect you from danger. It's trying to make you run away from the feeling.
So, the whole point of these tools, it isn't to create a life where you never feel anxious or afraid again. I mean, that's impossible. The point is to build a life that's so big and so important to you that you're willing to feel those things, to really live it.
There's this quote from the poet Tennyson that just nails this idea. He talks about drinking life to the lees, basically experiencing everything, the good and the bad. It's not about avoiding the hard parts, it's about embracing the whole messy, beautiful experience. And this skill we're developing, it has a name: psychological flexibility. And all that means is being able to stay open to what you're feeling, good or bad, and still taking steps toward the things that matter most to you. So let's just throw out the old goal of being fearless. That's not it. The real goal is to be courageous, to have the courage to show up for a rich, meaningful life, even when your knees are knocking. And that really leaves us with the most important question, doesn't it? The one only you can answer. Your life is happening right now, in this moment. So, what matters most to you?